ready to go in this first qualifying heat. The 72, Jimmy Kuhn Jr. out of Brockton, Mass. The 88 is Bobby Tripp from Westport. The 24, Rick Hanito. The 23 is Steve Channing. The 26, Dennis Dupuis. The number 6, Norm Holden. The 135, Pete Fiandaca. And the number 40X is Jeff McCure out of North Attleboro, Mass. The 45, Ron Pettis from Millis, Massachusetts. The 57, Wayne Newman from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. The number 19, Jeff Zeidema out of Worcester, Massachusetts. Also the number 98, Bobby Santos Jr. And Bobby Gahan from Barrington, New Hampshire in the number 50. That's the starting lineup. 15 lap, the first qualifying heat.
50X, if you want to call it that, the red automobile. So starting at the rear, where he drew the last starting spot, Bobby Gahan, car number 50 from Barrington, New Hampshire. Bobby's last year TC
Ron Manfredo is the starter here at Seekonk Speedway and set to give him the green flag. The first qualifying heat for the Pro Stocks, the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open at Seekonk Speedway. Here they come. Green is out, they're underway. Pro Stocks tight through the first and second turn and down the backstretch. The 88 of Bobby Tripp gets the jump. Jimmy Kuhn Jr. on the inside in the number 72 as they race down the front stretch. Tripp the leader, Kuhn runs second now. The 23 of Steve Channing makes the move into third spot. Channing goes to third. Now Kuhn down underneath Tripp for the lead on the backstretch. Jimmy Kuhn Jr. trying to take the lead away as Tripp scrapes back on the outside. Kuhn leads into turn one. Tripp runs second. Steve Channing is third. Norm Holden in the number 6 looks for fourth. Rick Hanito fifth in the number 24. Kuhn starts to open up a comfortable lead now in the 72. Tripp runs second. Channing still third. Norm Holden is fourth. Car on the move is the 50 of Bobby Gahan. Gahan, down from Barrington, New Hampshire, started last and has moved up into the 7th spot. Gahan in the 50 on the move in the Down East Drilling. Car number 50. Cross flags are up. They're halfway through heat number 1. Watching the battle for the final qualifying spot, Rick Hanito in the 24, Ron Pettis in the 45, and Bobby Gahan in the 50. Gahan looks to the high side as Pettis loses it out of turn 2, spins into the infield, and out of contention. Now Gahan and Hanito get together in the turn. Hanito gets loose. Caution flag comes out. Yellow is out. The mix-up actually started coming out of the second turn between Rick Hanito in the 24 and Ron Pettis in the 45. And Gahan trying to get that spot away from Hanito. Got together in the first turn. Set for the restart with 10 laps complete, 5 to go in this first Pro Stock heat. Jimmy Kuhn the leader, and Bobby Gahan the man to watch. Sits now in the 5th starting spot with 10 laps complete. Set for the green. Pro Stocks are back underway. Heat number 1. Now Bobby Tripp up on the outside of Jimmy Kuhn. Takes the lead away. Kuhn hangs tough in second spot. Norm Holden is third. Now Steve Channing in the number 23. And Jeff Zeidema dice it out for the 4th spot. Loose off that 4th turn. That's the 57 of Wayne Newman. And the caution flag is out as a car in the wall hard in turn 1. That's the 40X, Jeff McCure, in one of the 2 Ronnie Pond number 40 cars, 40 and 40X. Set for the restart again. Attrition has taken its toll, losing a couple of cars on that false start. Jeff Zeidema went out with problems on the right front during the caution, but we'll try and start him again. Still heat number 1 for the Pro Stocks. Here they come. Green is out. Tripp to the lead again, and now a three-way battle for the lead. Jimmy Kuhn Jr. in the 72, and Norm Holden in the 6. 3 wide down the front stretch with 2 laps to go. In the turn, something's got to give. The bump and grind off the second turn and down the backstretch, and Norm Holden comes out on top of that. Holden the new leader. Tripp goes to second. Kuhn is third. Here's the white flag. Just a lap left. Tripp comes back on the inside. Bob Tripp on the inside and Norm Holden on the outside. They race for the lead through the third and fourth turn. Checkered flag is up. Down to the line they come. Holden wins it. Tripp finishes second. Jimmy Kuhn for third. Bobby Gahan finishes fourth. Steve Channing fifth. And Ron Pettis finishes in the 6th spot. That's the way they run in heat number 1 for the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open at Seekonk. Heat number 2 lining up now for the Pro Stock Open at Seekonk. On the pole, the number 10, and that's Joe Peary of Swansea, Mass. in the Zeke's Custom Accessory sponsored car number 10. Alongside is the 91 of Charlie Rose, the 1 of Dick Houlihan, the 48 of Fred Estelle Jr., the 28 of Roger Godin, the 3 of Gomer Taylor, the 40 of Johnny Tripp, the 14 of Rick Martin, the 50 of Steve Sprague, the 41 of Lenny Ellis. They'll go another lap under caution here. The 74 is Dave Blanchard. The 43, Kenny Gillis out of Burlington, Mass. in the number 43, the Cedar Street welding car, and the number 2, the defending NASCAR Winston Racing champion at Lee USA Speedway, running a number of the open shows this year. The number 2 from Oxford, Massachusetts, Jim McCallum. Another 15-lap heat, the number 10, Joe Peary out of Swansea, sits on the pole, and that good-looking car number 10 brings them down for another 15-lap heat. Here they come. Green light, green flag, and they're underway. Pro stocks are tight off the fourth turn and down the front stretch. Up front, the battle between the 91 of Charlie Rose and the 48 of Freddie Estelle Jr. Estelle up on the outside in the Bay State Lincoln Mercury sponsored car number 48. Puts the hammer down out of turn 2, but Rose battles right back. Estelle again up on the outside. And Rose hangs tough on the inside. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Now, Estelle into a more comfortable lead, tucks it down on the inside off the fourth turn. Third spot belongs to the number 1 of Dick Houlihan. And the number 10 of Joe Peary battles for that fourth spot, loses it to Gomer Taylor in the number 3. Peary stuck up on the outside, gets past for a couple of more spots. Watching the battle for the lead now, or rather second spot, the 91 of Charlie Rose and the 1 of Dick Houlihan. They get the cross flags halfway through. Big lead for the 48 of Freddie Estelle Jr. But the battle is from second on back. Houlihan up on the outside. A feature winner here at the Seekonk Speedway. Takes the second spot on the backstretch. Rose goes to second. Gomer Taylor is third. Rather running in the fourth spot. We're watching second through fourth here. Estelle so far out in front, we've forgotten that he was the leader. This is the race for third now. Rose in the 91, Taylor in the 3. The 40 of Johnny Tripp, all right there. Now the 14 of Rick Martin comes into the shot up on the outside. 4 cars vying for third spot. Two laps to go, this time by. Estelle continues to lead. Houlihan second. And 5 cars for third. 6 cars will qualify. White flag goes up, just a lap left. The 43 of Kenny Gillis just out of a qualifying spot. Now he works the inside of Rick Martin. Checkered flag is up. Estelle wins it. Houlihan for second. The race for third, too close to call. Fifth goes to the 40 of Johnny Tripp, and we think sixth was the 14 of Rick Martin. We'll have to wait for the official finish on that one. We do know that Freddie Estelle wins it. Dick Houlihan second. Charlie Rose for third. Third qualifying heat for the Pro Stocks at Seekonk Speedway, ready to go. The 33 of Ray Lee sits on the pole. Vinny Amaruno outside in the 11. The 46 is Jeff Thompson, and the 18, Tex Barry Jr. The 22 is Tony Diaz Jr. from Riverside, Rhode Island. And alongside of him, the number 47, Ron Norbeck out of South Attleboro, Mass. The 5 is Jimmy Wilkins from West Palm Beach, Florida. The 7M, Pete Frappier out of Litchfield, New Hampshire. The 99, Wayne Dion from Warwick. The 22 is Alan McClure. The 87 of Mike Calvero, and then the 10X, Jeff Fagan out of Wayland, Massachusetts. The starting lineup, heat number 3, 6 to qualify. Here they come. Green flag is out there underway. Racing down the backstretch and into turn 3, the 33 of Ray Lee and the 11 of Vinny Amaruno. Amaruno puts the hammer down and takes the lead out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Ray Lee runs second in the 33. The 46 of Jeff Thompson is third, and they mix it up for the 4th spot. Tex Barry Jr. in the 18 and the 22 of Tony Diaz Jr. And the 5 of Jimmy Wilkins all right there. That's the battle for 4th spot. Three wide on the backstretch into turn 3. Wilkins backs off in the number 5, but hangs tough on the inside, and that may have been to his advantage as he looks to the inside of the 22 of Tony Diaz Jr. Gets by Diaz to take over the 4th spot. Diaz is 5th. And the 18X of Tex Barry Jr. sits on the bubble in the final qualifying spot. Now, quickly, the 99 of Wayne Dion moves into the picture. Dion now in the final qualifying spot. Cross flags are up. They'll be halfway through heat number 3 this time by. Wayne Dion in the 99 in the final qualifying spot, trying to get more as he works the outside of Jeff Barry Jr. Now Pete Frappier on the move in the 7M. Frappier needs to get by Dion in the 99 to qualify. The 5 of Jimmy Wilkins runs in the 3rd spot. The 46 of Jeff Thompson is 4th. Tex Barry Jr. is 5th. 6th and final qualifying spot belongs to the 99, Wayne Dion out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Longtime runner of the Seekonk Speedway. And Pete Frappier in the Bill Murphy Waste Oil 7M runs 1 spot out of qualifying. 2 laps to go, 2 to go. Wayne Dion on the move now, trying to take that 4th spot away from Jeff Thompson in the 46. Gets the white flag, just a lap left. Dion cleanly into fourth. Thompson goes to fifth. Barry is sixth. Checkered flag is up. Vinny Amaruno wins it. Ray Lee finishes second. Jimmy Wilkins third. Wayne Dion fourth. The 46 of Jeff Thompson fifth. Tex Barry Jr. finishes sixth in the final qualifying spot. And just missing out on qualifying, the 7M of Pete Frappier. The Sportsmen take to the track now for their first qualifying heat. They'll have a 35-lap feature later on in the program that pays $700 to win. The Seekonk Speedway Sportsman. They'll have a couple of heats to run tonight. As part of the program tonight, of course, the big one, the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open. We've had 3 qualifying heats for the Pro Stocks, and those that didn't qualify will be out in the Consi a little bit later on. 10 laps for the Sportsmen as they get set to take the green flag from Ron Manfredo. Here they come. Green flag. 56, the pole sitter, gets a big jump into the lead. Billy Goodrow in the number 32 runs in second spot. Brian Souza in the 81. Herb Wright in the number 48 makes his way down the backstretch, battles with the number 17. Wright a little loose through that third and fourth turn, gathers it back up and powers down the front stretch. Herb Wright in the 48. Back up front, the leader is the 56. Wright loose in that number 48, gets mixed up through the turn and loses several spots. Had been running in the final qualifying spot. A tough break for Herb Wright in the number 48. Cross flags are up there halfway. 56 continues to lead. Goodrow runs second in the 32. Souza third in the 81. Three wide action into turn 3. The 08 has to back off. Going in, Rick Murray in the 08. That's the battle for the final qualifying spot. On the move up on the outside, the 5, that's Corey Boudreau. Trying to do it on the outside the hard way. They'll get 2 laps to go this time by. 2 to go. Oh, look out, the 32 in trouble. That's Goodrow, who had been running in second spot and is now out of qualifying range in the number 32. White flag, just a lap left. Checkered flag will fly this time. Cowan in the 56 will win it. The 81 of Souza finishes second, followed by the 17, the 30, the 42, the 11, the 08, and the 5 of the qualifying cars. Heat number 2 for the Seekonk Speedway Sportsman staged and ready to go. Another 10-lap qualifier. They'll be out for their 35-lap feature a little later on in the program. They make their way by starter Ron Manfredo.
Have we got an added starter? No, that's Jimmy Whitehead. He's electing to start way in the back. He may have a problem. Oftentimes they will not start where they're supposed to up in front if they may be missing or afraid to give it the gas or something like that. There's backfiring or something.
71 sits on the pole, 77 alongside. Set to go 10 laps.
That's the point at which they will be wound
Here
up.
they come.
Yeah.
Green flag is out. Pole sitter 71 goes to the lead.
Mike Sylvia has the lead, but Dana Wilson on the outside. But down his back goes Steve Sanford in the 14 car.
Steve Sanford in the number 14 on the move. Sanford on the inside, trying to take that second spot away from the number 77. They are tight. 77 takes a shot from the 86 going into that turn, but he's able to regain his spot. Bump and grind, and look out, the 77 and the 7 get together, and the caution flag comes out. Set for the restart, heat number 2 for the Sportsman. Here they come. Back underway. Again, they are tight through the first and second turn and on down the backstretch. 71 continues to lead. Now the 14, again, Steve Sanford up on the outside. Four cars together for the lead off the fourth turn and down the front stretch. Sanford trying to take the lead in the 14, the 4 on the move as well, following him through up on the outside. Sanford leads. Ray Alexander in the number 4 runs second. 71, the Erie pole sitter, is back to third spot now as the cross flags come up there halfway. Sanford the leader. Ray Alexander runs second. Alexander looks to the inside. No going as Sanford's able to shut the door in turn 1. Alexander will try it again. And no going that time. Sanford pushes way up high on a turn 4. Now Alexander gets down underneath. Sanford holds him off. Alexander hanging tough on the inside. He'll try it again out of turn 4. And Sanford's got the power on the straightaways to hold him off. Now Alexander pulls up alongside as they go into turn 3. Side by side, and 2 laps to go. Tight for that second spot as the white flag comes up. A lot of smoke coming off that number 12. And the 88 on the move too. They come for the checkered flag. Flag is up. Ray Alexander will win it. Sanford holds on for second and too close to call for third. That's the way they run. Heat number 2 for the Sportsman at Seekonk Speedway. Now the last chance to qualify for the big field of Pro Stocks at Seekonk Speedway. Last time the chance to qualify for that 100-lap Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open. Round 1, the 57 sits on the pole, Wayne Newman. The 43 of Kenny Gillis alongside. Then the 7M of Pete Frappier, the 24 of Rick Hanito. The 41 of Lenny Ellis. The 10X of Jeff Fagan, the 135 of Pete Fiandaca, the 2 of Jim McCallum, the 22 of Alan McClure, the 19 of Jeff Zeidema. Those are some of the front starters.
57 of Wayne Newman will be bringing them down.
Here they come for the start. Pro Stock Consi, last chance to qualify. Here they come. Green flag and they're underway. Kenny Gillis gets the jump out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. He is the leader. Rick Hanito, who had a lot of problems in his qualifying heat in the number 24, races with the 57 of Wayne Newman for a second spot. Pete Frappier in the 7M, who missed by qualifying in the heat by 1 position, is on the move. on the inside in the 7M, trying to take the third spot away from Hanato, and does. Frappier goes to third. Battle for fourth now between Lenny Ellis in the 41 and Hanato in the 24. Jeff Fagan in the 10X. Trouble on the backstretch out of turn 3. 4 cars involved, including the 50 of Steve Sprague, the 47 of Ron Norbeck, and also a car stuck up on the outside. Also involved the 87 of Mike Cavallaro.
And we get the okay sign for everybody. The red record.
Tough break for Joe Perry in the number 10. He was that yellow car hung up on the outside. Severe damage to the left front of the Zeke's Custom Auto Accessories car number 10 for Joe Perry out of Swansea, Mass. And looks like he'll have to park it for the night. Set for the restart of the Pro Stock Consi with just a couple of laps down. Kenny Gillis continues to lead in the Cedar Street Welding car number 43. Here they come for the restart. Inside row gets the jump as Gillis goes back to the lead, and Pete Frappier makes the move to go into second spot. Frappier runs second to battle for third as the 57 of Wayne Newman on the outside and Rick Hanato on the inside. That's the race for third spot. Then Lenny Ellis in the 41. And the 10X of Jeff Fagan all right there. 4 or 5 cars battling for that third spot. Hanato now runs third. The battle for fourth between Lenny Ellis in the 41 and the 57 of Wayne Newman as they get the cross flags. They're halfway through the Pro Stock Consi. Halfway through a race which will determine whether they stay for the feature or go home tonight. 6 cars to qualify in a spin in turn 4. Roger Godin in the number 28 comes around. Godin sits on the inside of the racetrack in turn 4, and it brings out the caution flag. Roger Godin in the number 28 from Spencer, Mass. in the Godin Logging Chevrolet. Rather an Oldsmobile for Godin. A couple of Lee USA Speedway regulars sit in the front row for the restart. Kenny Gillis in the 43 and Pete Frappier in the 7M. 6 cars to qualify for tonight's 100-lap feature. Set for the restart. Here they come. Green is out. Gillis goes back to the lead, and now this time Rick Hanato in the 24 gives Pete Frappier a run for the second spot. Frappier up on the outside down the front stretch, trying to hold on to that second spot from Rick Hanato in the 24. Trouble in turn 2. Yellow is out. Caution flag comes out. The 57 of Wayne Newman stopped off the second turn, and Jeff Fagan in the 10X just pulling away brings out another caution flag in the Pro Stock Consi. Set for the restart once again. This time Kenny Gillis and Rick Hanato sit in the front row. Here they come. Green flag gets them going again on the restart for the Pro Stock Consi. Gillis goes back to the lead, and the battle continues for second between Pete Frappier in the Bill Murphy Waste Oil 7M and Rick Hanato in the 24. Frappier goes to second. Hanato is third, and here comes Pete Frappier in the Pete Fiandaca in the 135, the traveling man. Making the move on the inside. Lenny Ellis up alongside in the number 41. Ellis gets the jump. Fiandaca seemed to be off speed down the backstretch, and is. Fiandaca drops to the inside of the racetrack in the 135. And he connects with the 57. Fiandaca and the 57 get together over in the second turn, and it brings out another caution flag. That's the second time that Wayne Newman's gone around in that number 57, and he actually connected with Fiandaca as Fiandaca was slowing down going into that first and second turn. Set for the restart once again. Here they come. Green flag. Now it's Pete Frappier and Kenny Gillis again dicing it out for the lead. Off the second turn and down the backstretch. Remember, 6 cars will qualify. 2 laps to go. This time by 2 to go. Gillis leads. Frappier is second. Rick Hanito is third. Lenny Ellis is fourth. Alan McClure is fifth. And Jim McCallum on the bubble in the number 2. And look out! Gillis comes around out of turn 4. Caution flag comes out. Yellow is out. Kenny Gillis, who was leading, spins out of turn 4. And the caution comes out before we can get the checkered flag. A tough break for Kenny Gillis. Just a lap to go, even though they'll go green-white checker for the restart. Now the 22 of Tony Dias Jr. sits on the bubble in the 6th and final qualifying spot. Green flag on the restart. Frappier goes back to the lead. Hanito second. Lenny Ellis is third. Alan McClure fourth. Jim McCallum fifth. And now Jeff Zeidema in the 19 moves in to take the 6th and final qualifying spot. Checkered flag will fly this time. Pete Frappier will win it. And here they come for the finish. Lenny Ellis second, Rick Hanito third, Jim McCallum fourth, Alan McClure fifth, and Jeff Zeidema in the number 19, the 6th and final qualifying spot for tonight's 100-lap feature. Set for the Sportsman Consi. Last chance to qualify for the 35-lap Seekonk Speedway Sportsman feature that'll pay $700 to win tonight. All part of the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Open. As they get set.
Okay, we got somebody coming out, and I have to assume he wants them to come in on the tail
for the start of the Consi. Here they come. Green flag. 32 goes to the lead.
Yes, he's Tom Kelly. Tom Kelly is going to get out there if he can get it going, get out of everybody's way.
32 the leader off the 4th turn and down the front stretch.
And
Billy Goodrow in the number 32, the leader.
The 70th Glenn Lodge very, very quickly into the inside.
28 runs second. Glenn Lawton in the number 70 is third.
Gully has a long ways to go. There was never anybody was hoping for a yellow. Gully is hoping for a yellow right now.
Goodrow continues to lead. The 28 is second. 70 of Glenn Lawton is third. Pete Bernier in the number 30 runs in 4th spot.
Get into one of the top 6 to 8 positions. He now has 6.
48 sits 1 spot out of qualifying as 6 cars will qualify. As the cross flags come up, be halfway through this time by. Leader comes off the 4th turn. Billy Goodrow in the number 32. Pete Bernier runs third. 97 on the move, gets underneath Lawton to take over the 4th spot. The leader spins in the first turn. The 32 of Billy Goodrow spins and brings out the caution flag. Sportsman Consi. Here they come. The green is out. Pete Bernier, the leader in the number 30. He'll get 2 laps to go this time by. 97 runs second. White flag is up. Just a lap to go. The 48 of Herb Wright on the move. Comfortably into a qualifying position. In the number 48. Checkered flag flies this time. Pete Bernier wins it. The 97 second. 77 finishes 4th. The 48 of Herb Wright finishes in the 5th spot.
He's got a flat tire, but he's also got... Gentlemen, start your engine. Hey.
Is given to start the engines of 24 of the finest pro stocks in the Northeast gathered at Seekonk Speedway on this pleasant Wednesday night for the running of the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open. 24 cars qualifying through 3 heats and a consolation race. Norm Holden and Freddie Estelle Jr. will start on the pole. The pace car procession heads off, and the Pro Stocks
200 times they've got to go down.
Will pull out behind as they get set for 100 laps of racing. $4,000 to win. And a good crowd on hand tonight at Seekonk Speedway for tonight's Pro Stock Spectacular. Pro Stocks are staged and ready to go, given the leaders are given the final instructions from starter Ron Manfredo as they come by the starter stand. 100 laps of green flag racing. Norman Holden, a veteran here at Seekonk Speedway, sits on the pole, and son of a veteran race driver, Freddie Estelle Jr. sits outside pole, ready to go. 100 laps and $4,000 to win. The Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open at Seekonk Speedway is ready to go. There's the green flag. They're underway. Down the backstretch they head. The leader, the pole sitter, Norm Holden. Off the 4th turn and down the front stretch. Vinny Amaruno now battles underneath Estelle, looking to take over the 2nd spot and going for more. Amaruno looks on the inside of Holden as they race through the 3rd and 4th turn and down the front stretch. Side by side at the stripe, but through the turn, Amaruno is the new leader. Holden runs 2nd, and the 48 of Freddie Estelle Jr. is back to 3rd. Further back in the pack, the 99 of Wayne Dion, along with the 40, that Ronnie Pond-owned car driven by John Tripp, and the 45 of Ron Pettis all run together. Another Seekonk favorite is right behind them, Rick Martin in the number 14. Martin won this race last year in a controversial finish. Bobby Gahan, currently 2nd in the points at Lee USA Speedway, works the outside of the racetrack. Back around 7th or 8th spot now in the number 50. Gahan running well up on the outside. Back up front, the battle for second spot between Freddie Estelle Jr. and Norm Holden. They rub wheels out of turn 4. Tire smoke as the right front of Holden's car and the left rear of Estelle's car get together. And that's an advantage for Estelle as he now runs in second spot by himself. The battle for third between Norm Holden and the 88 of Bob Tripp. Gahan continues to move up on the outside, working the outside of Ray Lee in the number 33. That's the battle for 6th spot. Gahan in the number 50. Gahan, of course, doing it a hard way on the outside in the number 50. But the harder he has to work on the outside, the more he uses up those tires. And it's 100 laps here tonight. That battle continues between Gahan in the number 50 and Ray Lee, another veteran racer here for years and years at the Seekonk Speedway. Lee in the number 33. Gahan just can't get by him enough to be able to pull his car down onto the inside. Maybe this time as he beats Lee into turn 3. Now Gahan into a comfortable 6th spot. There's your leader, Vinny Amaruno in the number 11. He's in a comfortable lead as he heads out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. You can see the distance between he and Freddie Estelle Jr., who's running second. And Amaruno about to do the first lapping of this 100-lap feature as he moves on the inside to put the 46 of Jeff Thompson down a lap. And now he'll go after Rick Hanito in the 24 and put him down a lap as well. Amaruno continues to lead, and when he's out of traffic, he builds on that lead in the number 11. All by himself in third spot is the number 88 of Bob Tripp. And the race for fourth between Norm Holden in the number 6 and that yellow number 1 of Dick Houlihan out of Lakeville, Massachusetts. Houlihan running in the 4th spot in the number 1. Houlihan is 5th in the number 1. Bobby Gahan is 6th in the number 50. Further back, a battle between the 99 of Wayne Dion and the 23 of Steve Channing. Channing up on the outside, racing with Dion. And right behind Dion, the 18 of Tex Barry Jr. That is the battle for a 12th spot, I believe. Dion in the 99 and Channing in the 23. Channing hung up behind the lap car of the number 46, Jeff Thompson. And now Vinny Amaruno works his way through some heavy traffic off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Amaruno in the 11 has lapped Jim McCallum in the 2, and he's trying to pick his way through the traffic. He now has Estelle right on the back bumper through the 3rd and 4th turn. Heavy traffic. They are not displaying the passing flag because the passing flag broke. Assistant starter had to get out on the track and pick it up. They've got the passing flag back together again, and therefore they'll now be able to warn that lap traffic. So Anarumo can make his way through it. Vinny Amaruno continues to carefully pick his way through the lap traffic right there in the number 11, going underneath the 41 of Lenny Ellis. The rundown finds Amaruno in the lead. The 48 of Freddie Estelle Jr. runs second. Third belongs to the 88 of Bobby Tripp. Fourth is the 6 of Norm Holden. Fifth, the number 1 of Dick Houlihan. Sixth, the 50 of Bobby Gahan. Seventh, the 5 of Jim Wilkins. Eighth, the 14 of Rick Martin. 9th, the 72 of Jimmy Kuhn, and 10th, the 3 of Gomer Taylor. That's the way they run the top 10 currently. There's the battle for 5th spot. Houlihan in the 1, Gahan in the 50, Wilkins in the 5. Houlihan currently 5th. Gahan trying to hold on to 6th. And he's got the 5 of Jimmy Wilkins right up alongside. Wilkins no stranger to Seekonk Speedway. As Houlihan bobbles just a little bit off the 2nd turn, that allows Gahan to get underneath him to take over the 5th spot. Gahan gets underneath and can pull away now, safely in the 5th spot. Houlihan tries to hold on to 6th, and he loses it to Rick Martin. Martin now goes to 6th. Jimmy Kuhn is underneath Dick Houlihan to take over 7th. The leader, Anna Maruno, puts Pete Frappier down a lap. And Freddie Estelle is able to stick with him all the way through the lap traffic. Cross flags are coming up, this time by 50 laps down and 50 to go as the leader crosses the stripe halfway. That's the number 88 of Bob Tripp. Tripp out of Westport, Mass. in his Chevrolet currently runs in the 3rd spot. McCallum in the 2 and Ron Pettis in the 45, running a lap down. Right behind them, the 4th place runner, the number 6 of Norm Holden, who was the pole sitter for this event. Holden working his way past that lap traffic now. There's Bobby Gahan. He currently runs in 5th spot in the number 50. But Rick Martin pulls in right behind Gahan. Martin in the 6th spot in that number 14. Then 5 or 6 car lengths back from them, the 7th place runner, the 72 of Jimmy Kuhn Jr. and the 5 of Jimmy Wilkins, running 7th and 8th. Real battle for the lead now into turn 1. Estelle trying to go in the middle as they're lapping the 91 of Charlie Rose. Estelle right on the back bumper of Vinny Amaruno. And nothing going that time as Amaruno gets back on the throttle and puts some distance between himself and Freddie Estelle. Estelle is able to close up the gap once again and ride with Vinny Amaruno. That is the battle for the lead. $4,000 on the line. Coming up on the number 3 of Bruce Gomer Taylor, looking to put him a lap down. Third spot still belongs to the number 88 of Bob Tripp. Tripp now makes his way down the backstretch, and we pick him up as he comes out of the 4th turn. He is currently the 3rd place runner all by himself. Fourth spot still belongs to the number 6 of Norm Holden. And Amaruno builds on his lead again. As now he puts a 6, 7, maybe 8 car length distance. And look out, yellow caution flag is out. Heavy smoke and sparks from the number 41 of Lenny Ellis. And appears to be a rear end problem in the number 41. As he obviously a lot of smoke and now sparks from that car, and Lenny Ellis retires the number 41. 29 laps to go in this 100 lap Pro Stock feature, the regular length of a Saturday night feature event. An amazing 71 laps without a caution flag. This tightens things up. Car's tires have had a chance to cool down a little bit. This could make for a real 29 lap shootout. Vinny Anarumo on the pole. And Freddie Estelle Jr. outside. Here they come for the restart. Green flag is out. They race side by side through the first and second turn and down the backstretch. Pretty much a dead heat into the third turn. Off the fourth turn they come, down the front stretch. Anarumo back into the lead. Estelle looks low heading into the second turn, but Anarumo puts some distance on him down the backstretch. Anarumo back into a comfortable lead. Freddie Estelle Jr. runs second. Now, right behind Estelle is the number 88. And he is running in the third spot. That's Bobby Tripp. Tripp runs third in the 88. Outside of him, the 3 of Gomer Taylor, a lap car. Got quite a few cars between Tripp and the fourth place runner. Look out, Tripp and Estelle get together in the turn. Estelle gets just a little loose, and that gives Tripp the advantage to get by him. But Estelle comes right back, looks to the inside on the backstretch. Tripp shuts the door in turn 3. Bobby Tripp is now running second, Estelle is third. As I mentioned, you gotta go a ways to find the fourth place runner. It's the number 6 of Norm Holden. Now going into turn 3, he runs fourth. Rick Martin is fifth. Bobby Gahan is sixth. Jimmy Kuhn is seventh. Dick Houlihan is eighth. Big lead for Vinny Anarumo. Bobby Tripp runs second. Fred Estelle is third. And there's the race for fourth. Rick Martin on the inside in the 14, and Norm Holden outside, trying to get around the lapped car of Pete Frappier. Well, they're all bunched up in a spin in the turn. 3 cars involved. The caution flag comes out. Jeff Zeidema in the 19, and one other car stopped up in the second turn, now just pulling away. Looks like the 7M of Pete Frappier. Now at this caution flag, 81 laps complete, 19 to go of the 100-lap feature. Vinny Anarumo had opened himself up another comfortable lead, and that is negated on this caution flag. This time, the 88 of Bobby Tripp starts alongside. Third spot, the 48 of Freddie Estelle. Fourth spot, the 6 of Norm Holden. Fifth is the 14 of Rick Martin, and sixth is the 50 of Bobby Gahan as they get set to go. Just 19 laps left. Here they come. Green is out for the restart. Anarumo in the lead again down the backstretch. Bobby Tripp runs second. Freddie Estelle Jr. is third. Now that battle for fourth between Rick Martin in the 14 and Norm Holden in the 6. Martin gets the jump, and he's going to go for more. Looking to take over the third spot from Estelle. Martin works the inside of Freddie Estelle. Off the second turn and down the backstretch, Martin pulls him and takes over the third spot. And here comes Norm Holden, and he follows through underneath. Holden goes to fourth. Estelle all the way back to fifth spot. In the number 48, Bobby Gahan on the move. Up on the outside of Jimmy Kuhn Jr., that is the race for sixth spot. 15 laps to go. There's your leader, Vinny Anarumo, even on the restarts, having no problem getting himself a sizable lead. Second is Bobby Tripp in the 88. Third spot belongs to the 14. That's Radical Rick Martin from Westport, Mass. And here's the battle for fourth. Norm Holden, the pole sitter, in the number 6. And the 48 of Freddie Estelle. Still side by side, battling for the fourth spot. Joining in that battle, the 72 of Jimmy Kuhn Jr. and the 50 of Bobby Gahan. Also the number 5 of Jimmy Wilkins. A 5-car race for 4th spot. 10 laps to go. The race is for 4th at this point. Holden, Estelle, Jimmy Kuhn, Jimmy Wilkins, and Bobby Gahan all right there. Now Freddie Estelle trying to scrape back to get that 4th spot. Works the outside of Norm Holden. Estelle in the number 48 obviously has saved some as he is battling back up on the outside. He gets loose in the turn, loses several spots, and there goes that battle for 4th. Freddie Estelle into the turn 3 a little too hard. 5 laps to go. Now the battle for 4th as Bobby Gahan working the outside of Norm Holden. Gahan in the 50, up on the outside trying to take the 4th spot away. Holden tries to come back. Gahan puts the hammer down and he's into a comfortable 4th spot. Holden is back to 5th. Jimmy Wilkins now works the outside of the number 5. Wilkins looks to take over the 5th spot. Wilkins goes to 5th in the number 5. Holden is back to 6th. 2 laps to go, this time by, 2 to go. Vinny Amaruno all by himself. Bobby Tripp is 2nd. A spin on the front stretch. Jimmy Kuhn Jr. in the 72 spins into the infield. I don't think we'll have a caution flag as the white flag is out. Just 1 lap left now. A half a lap for Vinny Amaruno in the number 11. Checkered flag goes up. Vinny Amaruno wins it. 2nd goes to Bobby Tripp with Rick Martin right on his rear bumper for 3rd. Bobby Gahan finishes 4th. Spinning across the finish line in 5th spot, the 48 of Freddie Estelle Jr., followed by the 6. We'll have to wait on that. I think Jimmy Wilkins might have gotten by in front of them, then Freddie Estelle and Norm Holden. But there's no doubt about it, Vinny Amaruno has won this one. He's $4,000 richer. Big, big win. And he makes his way back to the start-finish line to pick up the checkered flag, and he will head off on what is known as the Polish victory lap, again in memory of Alan Kowicki, the fallen Winston Cup star, the owner-operator of B&L Auto Repair. Vinny Anarumo in the number 11 does the backwards victory lap, going in front of the grandstands and savoring every moment of that victory lap. Driver's side to the fans and getting well wishes as he makes his way back to victory lane. What a good race and a strong run by Vinny Amaruno in the number 11.
Wally, please. Vinny Amaruno, ladies and gentlemen. Vinny Amaruno, ladies and gentlemen. Now that you're $4,000 richer, what does it feel like?
$4,000. Are you tired?
Yeah, I'm happy. $4,000 pay a lot of bills.
Do you think you were going to have trouble with that lap traffic, or were you just sitting back waiting?
Well, I see you calling them over, and they ain't going over. I said, well, a few times I went to the high side. We ain't going to wait for them to come over. I didn't know who was behind me. And I wasn't looking.
I'm sure you want to thank your sponsors.
Oh, yeah, Jack's Auto Salvage, American Paving, Wally Saliba, Rhode Island Dry Shaft, Steve's Auto Parts. If it wasn't for them and my crew, we wouldn't be here right now.
Okay, Jimmy, Vinny and Bruno, one happy fella.
And thank you, Mr. Rodman Prito, your official starter.
Victory Lane ceremonies
filling in
continue
a quick
for
hurry
Vinny
here tonight.
Anarumo down at Victory Lane.
I suppose
And
you want
a whole
extra money
bunch of
now.
well-wishers down there with the number 11. He had the field covered tonight and comes home the winner, the 100-lap Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open on this Wednesday night at the Seekonk Speedway in Seekonk, Massachusetts. The final race of a Wednesday night at Seekonk Speedway. This will be the 35-lap Sportsman feature. Little added incentive for these guys tonight, as $700 will go to the feature winner of this, the Sportsman feature event, and the final race of the night here at a very pleasant Wednesday night at the Seekonk Speedway.
Bringing them around, Cook is
35-lap
green
feature.
flag, so give it to them right on that entrance to the pit.
Here they come.
Point 10 on it. 10.
There's the green flag. Sportsmen are underway.
Mike Sylvia in the lead, up around the outside.
Sylvia, the leader, in the number 71. Battles with Linwood Cowan in the number 56. Cowan on the outside and Silva on the inside. Steve Sanford runs third in the number 14. Linwood Cowan wins the battle for the lead up on the outside in the number 56. Mike Sylvia runs second. Steve Sanford is third in the number 14. Also on the move, the number 81, that's Brian Souza. Souza currently runs in fourth. '86 on the move, up on the outside, that yellow number 86. Three wide action out of turn 4. These extra wide turns here at Seekonk Speedway allow for some three wide action, and it continues on down the backstretch. Trouble off the fourth turn. Number 9 involved, and also the number 24, and it'll bring out the caution flag.
It looks like the 84 ended up on the wall over there on the second turn temporarily, and we have to call a halt to the proceedings as we go to a yellow flag situation.
We have 8 laps complete of the Sportsman feature. Linwood Cowan sits on the pole in the number 56. Here they come. And there they go. Cowan the leader. The original pole sitter, Mike Sylvia, runs second in the 71. Brian Souza third in the 81. And Steve Sanford fourth in the number 14. A spin in the turn. That's the number 48 is spun. The yellow comes out. That's Herb Wright out of Brockton, Massachusetts.
And it looks like the 86 is
10 laps complete now and 25 laps to go. Linwood Cowan continues to sit on the pole. Mike Sylvia outside. Then Brian Souza in the 81. Steve Sanford in the 14. Rick Murray in the 08, Corey Boudreau in the 5, and Chad Chase in the number 8. That's the way they run as they get the green flag for the restart. And the Sportsmen head on down the backstretch into turn 3. Cowan continues to lead. Here's Corey Boudreau in the number 5, moving on the outside. Boudreau, a strong runner in the Sportsman here at Seekonk, going to work on the 14 of Steve Sanford. That is the race for 4th spot. Now Chad Chase getting into the battle in the number 8. Chad Chase on the move. He got around Corey Boudreau. Now he goes to work on Steve Sanford. That's the race for 4th spot. Now we've got 4 cars in a race for 2nd spot. Linwood Cowan leads, but here's the race for 2nd. Mike Sylvia in the 71. And a lot of sparks off that car as he went into the turn. And he is slowing down, could have a tire going down. As Brian Souza has gone to 2nd in the 81, Chad Chase 3rd in the number 8, Corey Boudreau 4th in the number 5, Steve Sanford is 5th. Cross flags, we're halfway through. We'll get a field shot as they come off the 4th turn so you can see where your favorite driver is running. Get an entire shot of the field as they come off the 4th turn and make their way down the front stretch. Caution flag is out. And the yellow is out for a car stopped in the pit entrance. Set for the restart once again, Linwood Cowan, the leader. We did find out that that number 11 was just a really red-hot exhaust manifold that was glowing under there, and no real fire under the hood of the number 11 moments ago. Set for the restart of the Sportsman feature. Here they come. Green flag back underway. And a race up front. Linwood Cowan in the 56, Chad Chase in the 8, and Brian Souza in the 81. All 3 cars together battle for the lead down the front stretch.
And we have 19 laps complete. Now 20.
20 laps complete, 15 to go. Again, right on the back bumper of Linwood Cowan, the leader. Chad Chase in the 8, Brian Souza in the 81, Corey Boudreau in the 5, and Steve Sanford in the 14. Chase right on the back bumper of Cowan as they race down the backstretch. Chad Chase has been running good on the outside so far in this feature tonight. And now he'll work the outside of Linwood Cowan as they head off the 4th turn and down the front stretch. Chad Chase in the number 8. Chase with the power out of turn 2. Powers into the lead. 10 laps to go. This time by 10 to go. further back in the pack, some battles go on. As that number 11 that we spoke of earlier, and the 12 spin over in the second turn, brings out the caution flag. Less than 10 laps to go. Chad Chase sits on the pole. Linwood Cowan alongside for the restart of the Sportsman feature.
This is lap 27, so
Lap 27, here they come. Green flag.
and the green is out.
Chase in the lead again from the pole position.
Grabs the lead. 5 car.
Cowan runs second.
Running a great race.
Brian Souza is third. Corey Boudreau runs fourth in the number 5.
He stayed with Steve
And the 14 of Steve Sanford. Running in the 5th spot, also on the move, the number 88. 5 laps to go next time by.
5 laps remain. 5 laps remain.
5 to go for Chad Chase. Big lead for Chad Chase. Here's the race from second on back. As you see the field work their way out of the 4th turn. Linwood Cowan, the early leader, runs second. Brian Souza is third. Steve Sanford is 4th. Further back in the pack, you see the 08 of Rick Murray. This time around, they got 2 laps to go. 2 to go. As now, in the final stages of the race, they all jockey for position. Oh, 2 cars in the wall hard out of turn 2. The 08 of Rick Murray in the wall hard, and the 4 of Alexander brings out the red flag, a red flag condition, as they really tag the wall.
He's okay.
We understand he's gotten out of the car.
Alexander, I think, is the other car. That's the 08.
Really in the wall hard.
And Ray Alex. And we're
Set to
gonna go
restart
with
after a
green,
rather
white,
lengthy
checker.
red flag stop to get those cars off the wall. We're going to go green, white checker on this one. Chad Chase in the 8 and the 56 of Linwood Cowan after Rod Murray really got into the wall up there. Green flag. And Chase rockets back into the lead from the pole position. Brian Souza runs second. The 88 goes to third as the white flag comes up and just 1 lap left. Checkered flag will fly next time, the end of this 35-lap feature. And it looks like Chad Chase is going to win it even after taking a shot in the rear from the number 81. Chad Chase wins it in the number 8. The 81 of Brian Souza finishes in second spot, followed by the 88.
Finishing in 3rd spot.
Anderson in the 88.
So Chad Chase.
Chad Chase, the winner, in the number 8, picks up the win of the 35-lap Sportsman feature, the final event on this Wednesday night at Seekonk Speedway. Chad Chase also will do the reverse victory lap, the Polish victory lap, if you will, again in the memory of the late Alan Kowicki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope we'll see you all next
And he
Saturday
too
night.
will make his victory lap around facing the grandstands for the few fans that remain, as once that race was over, everybody started making their way to the parking lot. Been a long night, but a great night of racing here at the Seekonk Speedway.
Series that we talk about. And until next.
And Chad Chase heads out
Speaking
in the
on
number
behalf of the Vendetti family.
and a good run for him.
And
in that brightly colored car number 8, the winner of the 35-lap Sportsman feature here tonight at Seekonk, and picks up $700 for the win. Good run for him as he brings the number 8 back into victory lane.
And this is Jim Power.
And concludes this night of racing here at the Seekonk Speedway on Route 6 in Seekonk, Massachusetts. We'd like to thank the Vendetti family for their hospitality here tonight for Channel One video. And I want to thank all of the competitors for a great run. And that does bring to a close this night of racing. This Wednesday night, June 16th, tonight the running of the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open and the Sportsman here at the Seekonk Speedway. For the entire Channel One video crew, this is Pete Falcone thanking you for being with us here at the Seekonk Speedway. We'll be back for round 2 of the Coca-Cola Twin Crown Pro Stock Open at the Seekonk Speedway. Good night.